Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new day of Road to TCG Worlds 2017. I'm just kidding. This is actually TCG PokeDECKS and we are featuring a Pikachu EX deck. It is finally Pikachu week. We had to endure a really rough R-Bug last time around, but hopefully Pikachu, at least it has more potential. I'm not guaranteeing we're gonna win any games at all, but we might actually be able to take a lot of knockouts because Overspark in theory can one-hit KO absolutely every single Pokemon out there. So that's pretty cool, wouldn't you say? That's definitely pretty cool. Then we have Raikou as backup because it can also potentially do unlimited damage, but it comes at a higher price, but you also don't have to discard every single energy you have, right? And Shining Body can be a pretty good ability, along with a very decent HP and the fact that we do have Fighting Fury Belts to increase that HP. Pikachu, quite fragile because it's an EX Pokemon and does have 130 HP, but once again Fighting Fury Belt can help us deal with that. And of course, in order to power up either of those Pokemon, we are running Magnezone. Now we really want to set up Magnezone. We need to have that ability Magnetic Circuit going in order to make sure we can KO anything that's in front of us. So setting up Magnezone is probably target number one, or priority number one rather, for this deck. The other support Pokemon is of course Shaman, which will allow us to draw quite a few cards. And now, in order to try and build try to execute our strategy, we do have 4 Professor Sycamore, 3 and 2 Lysander, 1 Fisherman in order to recover all the energies we do discard, and we have the 1 Teammates because Teammates can search directly for Rare Candy and the Magnezone, which is pretty good. Aside from that, we do have some counter stadiums in Rough Seas, we have some retreat forms in Floatstone, we have 4 Ultra Ball and 2 Level Ball because the Level Ball can find us the Magneton or a baby Magnemite, not a baby Magnemite. I'm too used to saying baby Volcanion and baby Veltal that I just assume it's like a baby Magnezone. We do have our 4 Rare Candy, but definitely after we set up 1 Magnezone, those Rare Candies are not going to be too useful. And then finally we have 1 Super Rod in order to potentially recover energies, potentially recover a Pikachu. We're not entirely sure. So that's the deck list, and now let's see if we can actually get some wins here. Let's see if we can actually find some wins in the standard format with Pikachu. Now I was really doubting in recording this video because I generally should be practicing for Fort Wayne regionals, but between Sun and Moon recording, because I got the game since Tuesday, and then like the videos and this, I generally have not practiced enough. I have a few ideas in my head in what I want to play, but I don't really have it quite clear, so hopefully I sort this out very soon. I do need to focus on TCG, and hopefully we'll have another TCG stream before Fort Wayne regionals. I leave on Friday. And wow, we actually get a pretty decent hand. I'm gonna start Magnemite because I get free retreat by having Magnemite on the bench, and I also get Pikachu down. So we might have to sacrifice the Rare Candy here, but I don't think that's a huge problem. And we're actually up against Greninja. Now, that's a really big issue because Greninja is not it's not a card we can trade well with. Definitely not a card we can trade well with, and it's definitely a card we have to start putting pressure to since the very beginning, so there might be some merits to start attacking with Iron Tail. Now another big issue here is the fact that if I want to get a KO on turn 2, I absolutely need the Magnezone. It's the only way I can guarantee that, and I'm gonna be dealing 150 damage for a single Frogadier, and that's definitely not a good use of my resources, so don't get your hopes up, guys. But Greninja could always break though. That's definitely a very big issue with Greninja, and yeah, Greninja could definitely break here. My opponent is taking so long. So long. To choose his active Pokemon. What the hell? Come on, Mr. Focus. Yeah, he's gonna time out. I hope. Because he's only making us waste a lot of time. He's generally only making us waste a ton of time. Why do these people do this? Why do people do this? Seriously, why? I don't get this. Uzumaki 1985, why do you do this? Why do you do this? I mean, he clearly didn't have to think that through that much. Like, generally, he did not have to think that through that much. But anyways, not much we can do about it either. Ah, boy, this is annoying. This is very annoying. Very annoying. Okay, so we get our mulligan. And he does start Talonflame. Now, there you have it. We actually have the turn 2 Magnezone right there. So I'll keep the Fighting Fury Belt, which doesn't really change things. I'm gonna attach the Fighting Fury Belt there, and then we wait. I don't think we are going to hit 3 energy off of the Sycamore next turn because we only run 10. But I actually think my opponent is AFK, away from the keyword, so it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter. We're kind of going to play a solo game. But, I mean, we do get to see a turn 2 Magnezone, so that's the only reason I'm staying in this game. And I also don't want to give my opponent a win. That's really crappy. A really crappy way for my opponent to play. Yeah, he just concedes. He's not there. He's definitely not here. So I discard the Pikachu and the Lysander. Let's try and finish this game as soon as possible. And let's evolve our benched Magnezone and get a clean card, a clean hand of 7 cards. So we generally, there's very few cards I would have actually picked in order to improve our current situation. I'm gonna discard these 2 cards. I'm actually going to search for a Magneton because I can't play that card down without sacrificing a bench space. But first, I will retreat into the Pikachu because if worst comes to worst, Talonflame is actually weak. So 2 heads flips with a single energy could mean that we get a KO on the Talonflame, and we do see 3 energy. Wow, this is really sick. Really sick. Turn 2 160 damage times 2 because of weakness. 320 damage to that oh crap. I thought Dawn was for the ability, for Magnezone's ability. Man, that's the second time this has happened to me. Like recently. I misplayed so bad against a Beedrill deck. I mean, using Beedrill, I was about to win against a Mega Gardevoir deck using Beedrill from Evolutions, and I completely misplayed. Well, that was dumb. We should have won by now. So I'm sorry you guys have had to endure literally 5 minutes of my opponent doing nothing. But hey, let's try and deal maximum damage then, since my opponent has done literally nothing. So we get to attach an energy. We will use the ability and attach that energy. And now, okay, since there's no more energy, the game does detect the fact that 520 damage does detect the fact that you can't attach more energy, therefore you're not in the attaching phase of Magnezone. So that's something I need to remember, guys. That's something I need to remember. So I apologize for that really weird game. We got our turn 2 Magnezone dealing with our Pikachu EX dealing 160 damage. So like if we were up against a different deck, we might have actually done well. But Now this is Alberion, and this might actually be Greninja once again. We do get to go first, thankfully. And maybe this deck will do... Nope, never mind. Never mind. Okay, we have two Verseekers, so the Sycamore should be coming very soon, because that's what happens here. That's what always happens. And how much damage does Magnezone actually deal? 100 damage, so that's not bad, actually. You do discard a Lightning Energy, but that's the third mulligan my opponent gives us. That's really good. That's really good news. Okay, so now he finally probably finds a Froakie, actually. I'm gonna put money on that being a Froakie. Yep, that's a Froakie. Perfect. Okay, so what do we do here? Do we go for the Raikou? I imagine we go for the Raikou and we attach an energy to the Raikou. And I'm actually gonna discard the Sycamore and the Lysander, because I'm going to end here. Well, there's no Raikou, so I'm gonna grab a Pikachu, because we're probably gonna find another Magnemite soon enough, I would guess. I'll attach an energy to Pikachu and I will end my opponent. As I mentioned, Iron Tail is an option, and there we have it. We get access to a Verseeker, and now we can either Sycamore or end depending on the situation. We get our Magnemite in order to free retreat, and we even have an Ultra Ball to find the Magneton or a Shaman. So we could once again be able to find a turn 2 Magnezone. Like in a really lucky world, we find Shaman, and with Shaman we draw... Oh gosh, okay, so never mind. With a Shaman we would have drawn the rare candy and 2 more energy. That would have been great. But wow, there's our turn 2 Magnezone, guys. There's our turn 2 Magnezone. Now, is my opponent going to flip heads on Bubble? No, he flips tails. Okay, so that's good news. Now, we have 100%. I definitely want Rough Seas here, so I discard. No, well, actually Rough Seas or the Sycamore. I'm gonna get rid of the Sycamore and the Floatstone. That's very risky. I generally know that's very risky, but the deck seems to like us. It generally seems to like us, and we are actually going to Sycamore for, Shaman for a brand new 6-card hand, and there's our turn 2 Magnezone. Now, as I mentioned, the issue is we're gonna have to deal 150 damage to a 60 HP Froakie, and that's obviously not great. And we don't even have the other energy yet. So, let's attach the energy first, and then we are going to Ultra Ball away the teammates and the Magnezone for another Shaman. Like, it would be preferable to actually attack that Froakie, I think. But let's find another Shaman, or let's find another more cards. There's our energy, great. And we actually get access to another Magnezone, in theory, very soon. And if we want to give up on the Rough Seas, I feel like that's the best play, to just Sycamore out right here. I generally think that's actually the best, absolute best play here, because of the fact that we want to make our deck really, really thin. Man, this deck is flowing so well. Like, it's flowing a lot better than many of my other decks. We have 2 energy right there. That's good news. I'm not gonna bench the Magnemite. It's unfortunate that I only have 1 bench space, but I will take the damage here for the KO. I don't mind that. I generally don't mind that, because we start putting pressure on the Greninja player. We get an energy that's absolutely great. That is absolutely great, and generally Magnezone could actually be a really good attacker here, and might be preferable to to Pikachu EX at the moment, actually, because we get to keep a few resources. Because if he does one Shadow Stitching, we are pretty much screwed. So maybe those 2 energy, I should have attached them to Magnezone before he did that end. But our deck is pretty thin. There is a water energy for the water duplicate, so we did pull that off. And now I'm not too comfortable in this position. Okay, only 2 Frogadier though, that's good news. That is definitely good news here. Okay, I'm gonna keep the rare candy so that I can discard it off of the Sycamore. Let's level ball, and so I can discard this Magnemite as well. And okay, let's attach this energy first to Pikachu EX, and then we are going to Sycamore for 7 cards. Oh, now this really sucks. Now this generally sucks. This is awful, guys. This is actually awful. Okay, so we find the Fisherman, but a single. Oh boy. Okay. A single. Yeah, we need 2 head flips here. We need 2 head flips here. A single Shadow Stitching is going to make such a huge difference for my opponent. I can't even begin to describe it. Okay, I'm actually gonna fill up my deck with energy. Maybe that was not a great idea. And let's see if Iron Tail, nope, can come through. It definitely doesn't. Maybe I should have gone the Magnezone route instead of Pikachu. That was really silly of me. That was actually really silly. Okay, he's going to win, so he's going to give us some card advantage. But you would expect him to find a Greninja. If he doesn't, he's going to be in a lot of trouble, but he definitely should find one. If he doesn't, wow, that's a level ball, that's not an ultra ball. So if he doesn't, he does, okay. So hopefully we are able to get those 2 head flips that I was talking about. Bursting Balloon, okay. Wow, he goes for Moonlight Slash. How bad is that? How actually bad is that? Wow. That is generally really bad, guys. Generally really bad. There's no reason to do that. Like you Shadow Stitching once and you win. You absolutely win. Okay, so now okay, so I can't get a KO onto this Greninja, and I guess I have to hope he keeps misplaying. Gonna guess I have to hope he keeps misplaying, and I'm actually gonna have to Fisherman for 1 card. I'm actually gonna have to Fisherman for a single energy, just so that I can start putting pressure with my Magnezone as well. Yep, there we go. So Overspark for the KO, we do get 60 damage back, but we get rid of another Greninja. And because this Pikachu EX is on the bench, it should be relatively safe. Relatively safe. There's 3 energy there. Our deck is 10 cards. I don't know how many energy is priced, and I should definitely know that by now. Touches an energy to Frogadier. There's another Greninja. Wow, that's the 20 damage to the bench Greninja. That is actually great news for us. That is really great news for us. Wow, my opponent just trying to do everything in order to allow us to win this game. Like, if he had used Shadow Stitching, there was absolutely no way I could have even dealt reliable damage to Greninja. But he went for Moonlight Slash. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So, another bursting balloon. But we have 3 energy. We actually have 3 energy, so we can KO the Greninja. We can KO the Greninja, and unless he has another one of these Greninjas, which you would assume he doesn't, I could kind of safely power up this Pikachu EX to have another backup attack. And I think that's what I have to do. Okay, so let's magnetic circuit here onto the active. I mean, he's not threatening us too much either. I could safely Lysander here as well and try to bypass this Greninja. Maybe that's my best play to avoid the damage, because yeah, that Greninja is not a threat, is it? Well, I can't Lysander and attack with Magnezone at the same time, so never mind. But just in case he does figure out the fact that he absolutely needs the to Shadow Stitching, I'm gonna power up the benched Pikachu. Like, I'm counting on the active Pikachu to get KO'd, right? That's what I'm counting on. So let's go for Overspark. And we're getting back-to-back KOs. After we whiffed that second KO, we're actually getting back-to-back KOs. And we get an energy. Wow. Man, things are just flowing with Pikachu. Pikachu is the nuts, guys. Pikachu is the nuts. Okay. So he's gonna Sycamore now. Discards Talonflame and Energy and another Sycamore, I believe. There's the Shadow Stitching Greninja. He's gonna level ball, but we know there's no more Frogadier. Oh wait, there is. So yeah, because he played a Super Rod. Okay, that might be very annoying. That might be the difference here. Okay, he's gonna Super Rod once again. Is he going to Moonlight Slash? That would be great. That would be pretty funny, actually. That would be pretty funny and pretty bad for him. And he actually puts back the other Greninja, the bad Greninja. Well, he didn't have any other Greninja, actually. Okay, so he now realizes he should have been going for Shadow Stitching. So let's promote Magnezone just to start us off with. We do have an Energy and a Versus Seeker. So maybe my best play here is to teammates. Nah, because there's no Ranger, right? You'd expect he'll be able to power up another Greninja. So the question is, well, no, never mind. I have to take a gale on the active. I definitely have to take a gale on the active. The issue is, I think I have to end here. I definitely think I have to end, and I'm gonna power up Magnezone just because, but I feel like N is my best play here, simply because I reduce the odds of him finding anything too useful. He will for sure KO my Pikachu. You would assume so, right? But he needs, well, it's not necessarily a given either. It's actually not necessarily a given. So let's just Overspark here. We do have, wow. We still have Verse Seekers left, and our deck is pretty thin, and we actually pull out a Verse Seeker of our prize cards. Guys, Pikachu just wants to be everyone's favorite card here. He just wants to be everyone's favorite card. Okay, so he goes for a Froakie. He's gonna force the 6 prizes here. He's gonna force the 6 prizes, but we actually can't do it KO Greninja here. How does he have 6 cards in his hand? Oh, because he got all the Greninjas back. That's right. Okay, so he Shadow Stitchings once again, which makes sense. But, see? There's a big issue here. There's a really big issue. Will he be smart enough? I mean, he's definitely not been smart enough so far, right? So I end him. I think that's my play. I end him. Yeah, that's definitely my play. I'm going to end him, and I'm not going to make my deck thinner, I don't think. I don't know what's left in my deck. I think the Lysander is important. The rare candy isn't, but the Pikachu EX might be. So I'm gonna keep this. Okay, let's just... Yeah, I'm gonna bench the Pikachu. And now I'm going to end. I have 6 cards left in my deck. I'm gonna draw 2 of those, which is Magnemite and Rare Candy. Probably the 2 worst cards here. We have a Lysander, we have a Verseeker, and we're gonna Thunder Blast, but we actually get rid of an energy. So now we have to top deck our Verseeker. We have to top deck our Verseeker. Did we have 2 Verseekers priced? Okay, he goes for the break. So he's gonna go all out. He might go for the KO. And he's going to end. That's great. So we get another chance here. Ugh, no. Should have played the Magnemite down. Well, yeah, maybe I should have played the Magnemite down. Okay. Oh, this is rough. Wow, he retreats. Oh, he retreats. And we're gonna have to pass. I'm gonna keep the Fighting Fury belt. Oh boy, this is very difficult and very bad. Not having an energy sucks here. And I can't afford to retreat. My other Fault Stone is discarded already. He says well played. I actually don't have an energy. Maybe he doesn't either. Oh, he has a dive ball. Goes for the Greninja. Does he have energy though? That's the question here. For a Verseeker, for a Sycamore, or something like that. But we need our last Verseeker. 100% we need our last Verseeker. He goes for Moonlight Slash. What am I gonna top deck? I have a Lysander, an Ultra Ball, and a Verseeker. Wow. That was stupidly lucky, guys. That was genuinely stupidly lucky. Okay. So, wow. Are we going to beat Greninja? Are we seriously going to beat Greninja with Pikachu Magnezone? Okay, the energy I'm gonna attach there, and then I am going to Magnetic Circuit 3 energy onto Pikachu. So my opponent does have a win condition though. He can Lysander. If he Lysanders, we are as good as done here. We are as good as done. But my opponent has not given any indication to the fact that he might have Lysander. And that our prize is an energy. Wow. Well, that won't help us if he Lysanders Magnezone, of course. But if he misplays and Lysanders something else, yikes. Okay, Trainer's Mail into N. That's great. An energy and N. Okay. We are going to draw 1 card. Our deck is 4. So we get the energy. I was gonna say, if he found the Greninja break, what? If he found the Greninja break, we would have actually been able, or we would have had a chance to KO the Greninja break. Wow, guys. Should I play Pikachu EX Magnezone at Fort Wayne Regionals, guys? Obviously not, but that was actually pretty funny. Okay, guys, I will leave you guys with this epic match. I have a ton of things to do, so I apologize for the videos being a little bit shorter, but at the rate I'm going, I need to finish Pokemon Sun for YouTube. I need to stream Pokemon Moon for Twitch, because I feel like that's going to bring a lot of growth to the channel, and because it's on everybody's mind, literally on everybody's mind right now. But hopefully everything should be good in terms of TCG videos for next week. I'm gonna pre-record as much as possible before I leave for Fort Wayne, but I need to pre-record 9 different TCG videos for next week, and I need to probably pre-record at least Monday and Tuesday for TCG. This is going to be a really rough week. But anyways, thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed watching Pikachu kick butt, and I will see you guys later. Please leave a like if you can for Pikachu EX. Bye bye.